Right, greetings everyone. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the Rebuilding a Club from Low membership workshop. I know you all are excited. You've had your coffee or your wine, and you've got your notepad and your pens, and you are ready to take notes and soak in all of the awesome information that we have in store for you. Now, I know you all know who I am, but in case you forgot, I am Rod Alexander, your Program Quality Director, and I'm excited for this awesome workshop. Without further ado, though, I want to turn it, well, before I do that, sorry, I forgot a little housekeeping. So if you don't mind, if you are not speaking, please make sure that you put yourself on mute. We will have an opportunity for some Q&A throughout. So if you don't mind holding your questions, that would be great. Or you can just pop them in the chat and we will be able to address them at that time. So again, keep yourself on mute. And then if you have any questions, you can wait until the Q&A or just pop it in the chat and we will make sure that we address that question. Of course, we want to always keep in mind what our district mission is, which is we build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence. Now, without further ado, I want to turn it over to our awesome, dynamic district director. Had a little brain fart there. Kari Evans, DTM. Let's give her a warm welcome and welcome her to the virtual lectern. Kari Evans.
Well, thank you. Now I'm having it. Thank you, Mr. PQD, and good evening to all of our District 44 and any other districts that have joined us. I am so excited to take part in this workshop about rebuilding clubs from low membership. I know we're going to have a lot of nuggets of wisdom shared this evening. And I have the pleasure and the honor of introducing our speaker moderator, I think we're saying, and that is Pat Johnson. And so let me tell you a little bit about Pat. So Pat joined Toastmasters International in 1983. That was a few years ago in rural northern Manitoba. During her 39 years of continuous learning and membership in Toastmasters, she has spoken in a long list of countries around the world as a keynote speaker and educator. She has served as District 21 Distinguished District Governor in 2001, 2002, International Director from 2004 to 2006 from Region 1, International President of Toastmasters International in 2010, 2011. She was the Learning Master Manager for the curriculum design of our Pathways program, the District Host Chair for the International Convention in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada in 2017. She's also the recipient of the Toastmasters President's Citation Award, and that's an award that is awarded for outstanding leadership and communication on a global level. Pat, in her spare time, after and through all of those different roles, has also written and published Building and Sustaining Vibrant and Sustainable Toastmasters Programs and Corporations in 2018 and launched this book at the International Convention in 2018, that same year in Chicago. And then she was the Region 10 advisor for Europe and the UK in 2020-21, the Region 2 advisor for Northern California in 2021-22. And then she's still a club officer, and she's currently the VP membership of her home club, Rise and Shine, in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. So you are in for a treat and a wealth of information. So let us welcome Pat Johnson, past Toastmasters International President. Thank you so much, Pat, for joining us.
Well, thank you, Madam District Director. And I'd love to acknowledge our past and current leaders, both internationally and district-wise, as well as our club leaders that are on the call today. I hope that we're not speaking to the choir today. How many of you here would raise your hand in your reaction bar that you think you belong to that you belong to an award-winning club? How many of you belong to a President's Distinguished Club on an ongoing basis? Raise your hand from the reaction bar. Looking to see. Maybe we can stop screen sharing. And so I can see the hands. Okay, well, some of you are, and congratulations. I am thrilled to see 2, 4, 6, 8 hands raised. And the other ones hopefully are here to learn more about that. Thank you for raising your hand. And those of you that don't currently belong to a President's Distinguished Club, please note those 8 people who raised their hand, because those are resources for you within your home district. So what do you actually look for when referring a best friend or a colleague, a family member that comes along and says, hey, I want to join a Toastmasters club. I want to learn from the best. And if your club is not President's Distinguished, how do you decide where you're going to refer them to? So I don't know about you, but I know what I look for. The first thing I do, and raise your hand if you do this, is I pull up the dashboard. Everybody know what the dashboard is? The district reporting, the report card of how your club does. And I look down and I sort which club has 20 or more members, first of all. And then secondly, I look for the club that is achieving all of their education goals. Because what I know is the people that are coming looking for Toastmasters are looking for education opportunities. They're not looking to get married. They're not coming for counseling. They're not coming for a place to find someone to have coffee with. That may be a byproduct, but when people come to Toastmasters, they're coming because it's an education program that is proven to work. And we, each one of us, has the responsibility and the opportunity to create that rich learning environment. Now, what I've learned in my many years of Toastmastering is that the Toastmasters program works. It works just the way it is. It is a masterpiece in the way it's put together for us to learn incremental step by incremental step, as long as our clubs work the program and our members work the program. So how many of you can raise your hand if you know for certain, because I know this for certain in my club, that every member of your club is enrolled in Pathways? Raise your hand if you know that every member of your club is enrolled in Pathways. Congratulations to those of you that are doing the program. If you're not enrolled in Pathways, let me be bold, you're not working the Toastmasters program. What curriculum are you following? Table topics is not the Toastmaster curriculum. And so our goal today is to shake things up. We want to look at things from a different perspective. We want to spend some time looking at how can we do things differently? How can we look at making a difference in our club, in our environment, in your club, in your environment? And so our first step today in the process is going to look at the club coaching principles, and your very own Barb Wallace, Distinguished Toastmaster, is going to lead us through this discussion for about 10 minutes. So I'm going to turn it over to Barb, and will you please join me in welcoming Barb Wallace, Club Coach Principles. Barb, over to you.
Thank you, Pat. It is an honor and a privilege to be here and to be in front of all of you today. It was really an honor to be asked to participate. Come on.
Barb, you got to go ahead and accept the screen sharing.
All right. I thought it worked before. It's not working, Rod.
Okay, you have control now.
I do.
Yes.
The slides are not advancing.
Okay, no worries. I'll change them for you.
Yeah, you can just go ahead and change it. I'll just follow along with you. All right. Recently, I had an opportunity to listen to the Toastmasters International World Champion of Public Speaking in 2014, Dhananjaya Hederachi. And he started off with, I see something in you, but I don't know what it is. And that made such an impression on me because it talked to what I think a club coach really needs to be. And not only a club coach, but the officers in a Toastmasters club. I see something in you, but I don't know what it is. So let's find out what it might be. Next slide, please. The principles of what a club coach would be thinking about, talking about doing. A club coach would be providing expertise and guidance to help your club rebuild. Now, a club coach has to observe what's going on in a club coach in a meeting, in a regular meeting, and then they would have to understand the culture of the club through their observations. And a club coach has to establish relationships and build a bond of trust between himself or herself and the officers and members of that club. A club coach needs to be consistent, enthusiastic, and encouraging. The club coach also has to help the club find solutions for their retention and growth. And also, club coach has to get commitment from the members to complete Pathways educational goals. Because if you aren't in Pathways, as Pat said, you really aren't in the educational program and you aren't growing. Toastmasters is an educational program. And by following the Pathways program, you will become better. You will be able to practice those techniques that help you develop as a person, as a communicator, and also as a leader. Toastmasters needs to help you develop yourself as a leader and not a boss. In corporate America, we have a lot of bosses, and the boss is going to come and tell you what to do. But believe you me, if you're doing that in a Toastmasters club, the people are going to scatter because this is a volunteer organization. This is not work. This is something people are doing to improve themselves. Next slide. But what if you can't get a coach? Okay. That's a point where I feel the club officers, the president, the vice president of education, the vice president of membership, the secretary, the treasurer, the sergeant at arms, and the vice president of public relations all need to get together as a team. And what if you don't have all those people? Well, you're still going to need to get together with whoever you've got. Because the one thing in a club you need to do as a group is own the club. It's yours. It belongs to you. You bring to it whatever you've got, and everybody in it brings to you whatever they've got. And you need to collaborate, and you need to put your minds together, and you need to brainstorm on how you can build this club into something that is great, that will make you be the kind of person that you want to grow into being, that will make the people around you grow into the people that they want to be. So I'm emphasizing teamwork. And you have to communicate with the members to let them know that you are there as their leader and you're there to help them succeed. Now, one of the things that you can do is participate as one of the executives in the Area Directors Executive Council. If your area director does not have an executive council meeting, you need to reach out to them and ask them, when are they going to have one? And maybe they will. Because by your participating in that council meeting, you get to meet the presidents and the EVPs and the VPMs and the VPPRs and whoever else wants to come to that meeting from different clubs in your area. So you get to build a rapport with them, and you get to help yourself by learning from what they are doing. But what's really important is to have quality meetings, because that equals quality clubs. And then you have to develop your own club's unique style. Next slide, please. Recognizing achievement is so important. I think that is just the key. People need to know that the hard work they're doing is appreciated. They need to know that the hard work that they're doing makes a difference. They need to know that you are giving them something that they can use, and that you are receiving something from them that you can use. So it's this synergy that you're building in a club environment. And you can celebrate that club's achievement by talking about, I achieved level 4. I achieved level 1 in my pathways. Dynamic leadership, presentation mastery. Celebrate that. And you can do that by showing, as Pat mentioned, the list of your DCP program goals and how well your club is doing, because that's your measure. Next slide. Now, there are all kinds of resources, and these are fantastic resources that you can take advantage of if you are a member of a club, if you are an officer of a club, if you want to become a leader or a better communicator. The Club Leadership Handbook is the thing that every president gets, and he's supposed to distribute these to all of his officers. That used to be the way it was in the old days, but nowadays you can simply download that reference from the Toastmasters International website. It goes to great lengths to explain to you how you become an excellent president, EVP, VPM, VPPR, secretary, treasurer, and sergeant at arms. Use it, look at it, make it your own. The Distinguished Club Program and Club Success Plan. Now, I have to admit, these are kind of cumbersome, but if you plan, you will succeed. How to Rebuild a Toastmasters Club is another resource that's really good. And there's another one that you might not know about, and this is called the Club Coach Troubleshooting Guide. It's a survey, and it allows you to ask questions and then strongly agree, neither disagree, or all the 5 things there. And you can get a feeling from the club as to where the club's weaknesses are, where the club's strengths are, and then you can target those. And then there's Moments of Truth. Rod is going to take you through Moments of Truth and talk about that. But there are many different documents that you can use for your Moments of Truth. Next slide, please. But why is it important? Because it helps the club members to identify their strengths and challenges. And it encourages and stimulates discussion that can result in ownership of the solutions. And lastly, if you want to rebuild your club, be persistent. Never, never, ever give up. Because even if you have 3 minutes, 3 members, those 3 members can do a great deal of help to one another if they have a meeting. Next slide. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. That's what we're all about. Next slide. As Dan said, I see something in you, but I don't know what it is. Pat?
Thank you so much, Barb, for that insight. Wow, a lot of material to cover in 10 minutes. Well done. One of the things that I was reminded of as Barb was sharing the role of the coach, and because I am a professional coach, that we're not to take over. And Barb emphasized this, and I thank her for this. In our new club coaching program, which is just recently launched from the board, is that it is a partnership between your club and the club coach that will come in. And you're going to do the work and they're going to support you. And one of the things that I know as a professional coach is that the coach can't want it more than the client. And so you, the club, need to want it badly to do what it takes to rebuild your club if you're looking for a club coach. And that's the key in my experience. A number of years ago, when I was district director, I was asked to be a club coach, and I said, nope, too busy, don't have time, not interested. And the club kept coming back to me and asking me, and I said, nope. No. And so several times I said no to them until someone finally said, look, we want you as the club coach. I said, no, I will send you a couple of people to consider. And so we did. I sent them a couple of people, they had interviews with them, and they said, no, we still want you. And I said, well, here's the truth. I will, but you must also. Here's the club success plan. You must build a club success plan. Here's the calendar. Let's set the club executive meetings in the calendar. Let's plan the agenda a month in advance. Let's attend officer training. Let's participate in area council meetings where you can meet other people from other clubs and share your strengths and your challenges. And we rebuilt that club, and that club has been President's Distinguished for many years since then. So the answers are already there, but sometimes it's challenging to see what the answers are when we're inside the club. And so remember that Barb, her team, and the district team are there to support you with the Club Coaches program. And if you're ready for a coach to help you look at how you can rebuild, reach out to the district and they will reach back to you. So I wish you the well. And in the meantime, if you want to start ahead of time, before you get a coach assigned, pull out the Club Coaches Troubleshooting Guide, which Barb mentioned, my current favorite Toastmasters document. It's on the Toastmasters International website, and it is a gem when it comes to diagnosing your club. So speaking of diagnosing your club, we've got our next speaker is going to share some insights on how to analyze our club, because if we don't know where we are, we don't know how to get where we want to go from where we are. And so your program quality director today, Distinguished Toastmaster Rod Alexander, is going to spend the next 10 minutes sharing with you some ideas of how to go about analyzing your club and the steps to participate in that. So I'm going to turn it over now to Rod Alexander. Please help me welcome Rod for analyzing your club. Over to you, Rod.
Thank you so much, Pat. I appreciate it. All right, everybody. So now we're going to get a little bit analytical for just a few moments. But as Pat mentioned, it's really crucial for you as a club to take a look at yourselves internally to find out exactly what the challenges are. Now, I know, of course, overall, we're all having membership issues across not just the district, but across the Toastmasters continuum. Everybody's having issues with membership. But there are specific challenges that each of you as a club are facing that you need to identify in order to help yourselves to overcome those challenges and rebuild and increase your membership. So Barb talked to us about moments of truth. Now, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on moments of truth, but I do want to help you to appreciate the benefit of having a moment of truth. So a moment of truth is an episode where a person comes in contact with any aspect of the Toastmasters experience and forms an impression of a club's quality and service. So from beginning to end, from the guest to signing up as a member to becoming a member and enduring through that club and giving speeches, the moments of truth will help you as a club to identify exactly where your weakness may be or where your strengths are. So the club, Moments of Truth focuses on 6 areas: first impressions, membership orientation, fellowship, variety, and communication, program planning and meeting organization, member strength, and achievement recognition. Now, you will agree, I'm sure, that all of these are very important when it comes to our club. And if any of these are off, or if one of these, someone is not having a good experience in any of these areas, then it can not only create a bad experience for that person, but that can filtrate into the club, and it can affect your meeting quality, which in turn will affect membership. So as we take a look into these areas, let's do a little bit of a deep dive. So as you can see, first impressions, it focuses on the guests. What do guests experience when they come to your club? Are they greeted is everyone friendly? Now, of course, in the virtual environment, it can be a little bit different. So of course you would need to tailor this to your particular club's meeting cadence, if you're meeting in person or if you're meeting virtually. But regardless of which one of these meeting platforms you're using, you still have to welcome and make the guests feel like they're a part of the club, or at least that they want to be a part of the club. So first impressions takes you through all of the arenas in which a guest would make their first impression or decide on that moment what the club is offering. Next, we have membership orientation. Now that focuses on mentorship of the club. When you get new members, are they assigned mentors? Do you have a formal induction of new members? Are speaking roles assigned? Things of that nature. These will help you to identify in your club where the weakness is. Now, one thing I forgot to mention about this moments of truth, or holding a moments of truth, you want to do this when you have all of your club members together, or as many club members as possible. And ordinarily you would take one of your club meetings and dedicate it to a moment of truth, and going through this entire exercise and really being vulnerable and honest. This is not the time to make ourselves feel good. Everybody's toes should be stepped on in a moments of truth, so to speak, because it's where we're kind of pulling back the carpet and revealing the things that we kind of know are there, but nobody really wants to talk about. That's what the moments of truth is designed for. And I would encourage you to have perhaps your area director lead you in your moments of truth. That way everyone in the club can participate, or have someone from an outside club that the club trusts to come in and lead the moment of truth. So I did want to make sure I mention that. But as you can see, the moments of truth, it covers each of these areas on down to achievement recognition. So I'll encourage you to sit down as a club officer body and decide when you all want to hold your moments of truth. And again, go through each of these sections and answer the questions honestly about how your club operates during this moment of truth. Now, part of the moment of truth, there is a handout, and Barb mentioned the handout earlier, but this is your guide to walk you through completing the moments of truth, and that's what the guide looks like. Now, when you open up that guide, each section, it offers you a list of questions and an opportunity to grade yourself. So you're going to identify the challenge, and then you're going to grade yourself as a club to determine if you never meet the standard or if you always meet the standard. And then this in turn will help you to identify where the areas are that you need to work on to improve. Meeting quality, cannot stress enough how important meeting quality is, especially we're in a time where people are looking to get the best bang for their buck. They don't want to spend money on something that they don't feel is going to be worth their time. So meeting quality is extremely important to retaining members, and not just retaining the members that we have, but when we have guests, it's important to get those guests to join. So your meeting quality is extremely important. And this exercise will help you to identify exactly what type of meeting quality your club offers so that you know how to make the adjustment. So as you go, well, once you go through all 6 of these areas of review, you ask yourself, do we meet the standard? And you can tally up all of the numbers to decide exactly, to see exactly where you stand, and then decide for yourself, based on the numbers, if you're meeting the standard. Finally, the last thing under the club coach under the moments of truth is the best practices chart. I encourage you to please utilize this in conjunction with your moments of truth, because this is how you come up with recommendations. There are challenges. Maybe the challenge fits your club, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's adjacent to a problem that you all are having. But this best practices chart gives you a possible cause, and then it gives you recommendations, things that you can do to resolve that issue. And that's why this chart is so important, and it goes through several different areas that coincide with the moments of truth chart. So very important to use in conjunction with that. Again, I encourage you all as a club officer body to utilize this. And if you have not done a moments of truth yet, please get one scheduled as soon as possible. We all know that you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So we want to make sure that we're making the best impression possible for our guests that visit our club. All right, so the last thing that I want to talk to you about is a SWOT analysis. And this can also be used in conjunction with the moments of truth, because the things that you've identified in your moments of truth, now you can use this SWOT analysis to kind of plot out how you would plan to make the improvements that you all identified. So a SWOT analysis is a strategic planning technique used to help an organization identify its strengths and weaknesses, opportunities and threats due to internal and external factors, as well as identify current and future potential. So this is what a SWOT analysis looks like. You have your strengths in one column, you have your weaknesses in the next column. Below that, you have your opportunities and then your threats. So as a club, and again, you can use the moments of truth to help you fill in these areas. But as a club, what are your strengths? Now is the time to pat yourself on the back. These are the things that your club does well. Maybe you always send a contestant to the district contest, international speech contest. Maybe your club does really well with giving evaluations, or maybe your club just has a very welcoming and friendly environment. All of those are considered strengths and things that you can pat yourself on the back, but as well, things that you can share with others who may be interested in your club. They want to know what you do well. So these are the things that you can share with them so that they can make the decision on if the club meets their needs or not. Next is our weaknesses. Of course, we don't have to talk about a weakness. We already know what it is, but we all have weaknesses. All of our clubs in some shape, form, or fashion has some way that it can improve. But identify your weaknesses. You're going to take the time to identify your opportunities. What trends may positively impact your club? What opportunities are available? And then finally, look at the threats. What trends may negatively impact your area? Your club. Do your clubs have support? One thing as PQD that I've heard quite a bit throughout our district is clubs are having table topics only meetings. And I would consider that a threat. That is a very obvious threat because it can tank your meeting quality. And when people aren't growing, as Pat said, you aren't growing if you aren't using the educational program. So finally, you want to make sure you come up with at least 4 to 5 items in each area just to give yourself something to work with. Again, plot it out, and then you're going to utilize this to create your plan of attack. And then you'll learn in just a few minutes on how to take that and then market to members to join the club. So with that being said, I will turn it back over to Pat, who will lead us on to our next section.
Thank you so much, Rod, for that quick review, both of a SWOT analysis, which is so important so that we know where we are, so we can build in the direction we want to go, but also the moments of truth. What I love to see is the moments of truth be done to help us inform us when we sit down to do our club success plan, that then we can build in for the next year. So if you're looking at right now, getting ready to elect new officers, it's a perfect time, as Rod said, to get that moments of truth done. So you can look at your strengths and your weaknesses, your opportunities and your threats for your new executive coming in. And when they sit down to build your club success plan, they can then use that information to inform that club success plan and work again. It's material in place to support the executive. You could ask the district for specific training that you need to ensure that the people go to officer training and keep your group inspired. So thank you, Rod, for sharing that insight and a quick walkthrough for the moments of truth. Very useful. And again, Toastmasters provides us with all the tools. We don't need to wait for somebody to come along and help us do this. We can do this as club executives, as club members. Patrick Lencioni, in his recent book that I just read, entitled The Ideal Team Player, says that you need 3 qualities to be an ideal team player. And if you don't have all 3 qualities, you're going to have difficulty with your team. The first one is to be humble, meaning that you work together to make the best of the team that you've got. The second quality is hungry. You have to be hungry to learn and try something new. And that means some of us have to wake up and get out of the rut that we're in because we've always done it this way, and try something different. Get out of your comfort zone. And the third one is that we have to be people smart. We have to manage those human relationships to build ideal teams. And that's what Toastmasters is about in our clubs, is about building teams. We're learning how to get along with different kinds of people, how to set goals, how to achieve goals, how to inspire people to work to still build and work towards their dreams when they're getting tired of doing it, but what keeps them coming back. So thank you, Rod, for sharing that great information. And we want to move on to a vital part now, because in order to do this, if we don't plan, it's basically a plan to fail. And the other thing that I know is that what gets measured gets done. So we need to have a plan. And along with a plan comes marketing. And today, Yolanda J., your distinguished Toastmaster and your public relations manager for your district, is here to speak about targeted marketing. So you want to know how to market your club. If you're not getting guests, it may be your marketing. Once you get your guests, you have to have the club in order for them to stay. But let's have a look at that very first step in terms of how to market your club. So please help me welcome Yolanda J. for our targeted marketing section. Yolanda, over to you.
Thank you, Pat. I'm excited to be here. Let's get started because we only have 10 minutes and I have lots of information, but I do want you to know that you can always email me at prm@d44toastmasters.org. Somebody drop that in the chat for me. So if we can't go fully into it, you already know how to get to me. Ready? All right. So the next slide talks about our club marketing ideas. Like, what is marketing? Who's responsible for it? Who should we market to? How do we implement this so-called marketing? And where does all of this stuff happen? Now that you've checked out the Club Coach checklist, right? You did the moment of truth, the SWOT analysis. Now you're even ready for something new. The next few slides are going to have a lot of technical jargon, but I promise the task will not be complicated. What is marketing? Toastmaster marketing is the process of identifying, anticipating, and satisfying prospective members' needs. And then they're also their wants, right? Not only what they need, but what they want through the creation and promotion of Toastmasters products or services. What is that? Pathways, hello, right? And learn by doing program. It involves various activities marketing does, advertising, one-on-one conversations, and the like, all right? A prospective member's needs are equal, right? I said pathways, but let me throw this word, drop it in the chat for me, soft skills that we learn and build by doing. Their wants is that growth in that practice to become more effective leaders, all right? Soft skills that we learn and build by doing, that's what we're marketing. All right, sorry about that, Rod. Target marketing is a strategy where clubs identify a specific group of consumers. Who is your avatar? Who is your ideal club member? Hey, I'm with a community club, and my ideal club member is going to be other entrepreneurs. So I'm going to build an avatar of what that looks like. The other idea is to build an avatar of the most faithful members in your club, because the most faithful members in your club, the 3 that Barb may have talked about, the 5 that are still hanging in there, they are the ones that make the club run. So you need more people like that. And they may be drawn to your club because of your club culture. So how do you attract people that are attracted to your club culture? Tongue twister, all right? Similar interests, similar hobbies. Is it the love of the neighborhood? Is it the local library they're into? Is it the restaurants, they're foodies? Is it, how do you find them? Is it networking events? Same for corporate clubs. If you're a corporate club in the room, where does your ideal member sit in your organization? Next slide, please. The methods of marketing are simple. Is your club visible on social media? I am a big advocate for social media. Is it available on social media? Do you want to be? Is your prospective member online? Or is a face-to-face connection more viable for them? Here's a few things that you can do to methods of marketing, right? So now you figured out who your avatar is. You know what type of club member you want. Do you just want anybody? Or do you want that special one that is going to fit into the club culture of your specific club? All right. So now that we've done that, where do you go? You want to update your Toast host presence. It is disturbing how much misinformation is available online. So the first step is, how do they get to you? Is your meetings up to date online? Those kind of things. Simple, right? Host an open house. We've heard it before. This is my PR challenge to you. Pick a date and execute it within the next 30 days. Post your club social media sites. Post any kind of collateral that you create on your social media sites for your club: Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Clubhouse. I know we don't talk about Clubhouse that much. And then ask your club members to do the same. Develop a local media list if you'd like that more face-to-face interaction. In my county, we have county newspapers, we have city newspapers, we have community bulletin boards. Develop a local media list around the area where your club maybe meets. Print flyers and visit your target prospects' hangout spots. Where is it? Is it in the gym? Is it in the library? I mentioned that one. Is it, where do they hang out? Apartment communities are a great way to do that. My church right now is blowing up by leaps and bounds, 30, 40 people joining the church at a time. Why? Because we went to local apartment communities, talked to the leasing officer and whoever is in charge there, and they decided to partner with us. You can do the same thing with your club. You can take a meeting there sometimes, or you can ask them to come to your meeting. All right, so apartment communities, libraries, local restaurants, local businesses, I mentioned those. Are there any upcoming neighborhood festivals, networking events? Have you already connected to the Chamber of Commerce in your area, or any SBA or small business events in your area? Most of the people who attend networking events, Chamber of Commerce events, and small business events, they want to grow. All right, next slide. Yolanda, I now understand where to market, but what am I using? You're saying target marketing, you're saying print flyers. It's easy. Why? Because Toastmasters has made it so. So on the right side of my slide is a Toastmaster Canva template. Literally, you just have to press the link and print it out. Press the link, enter your club information, and print it out. So Canva is one of my best resources. It makes the even novice Toastmaster a design pro. Canva, CANVA.com. And then Toastmasters partner with Canva, and then you have the Canva templates. All right, so you don't have to create anything. But before you start going ahead and creating collateral, I want you to do something for me. Go to the brand manual and read it. So the brand manual is a must read. The Canva program is a must have, okay? The brand manual is a must read. The Canva program is a must have. Now, Canva is free and all of the features are free, but they do have a paid subscription that gives you more of their resources. But one thing I love about Canva that they've done for us is they've opened Canva for Nonprofits. So go ahead and search that on your own time, Canva for Nonprofits, and use Toastmasters EIN number to become a part of the nonprofit, because we are doing the work of nonprofits. We are serving others, leaders, and the like, right? I am running out of time. Move to the next slide. I don't want to miss this part. Here are all the marketing tools that can be found. I mean, not all of them. These are just some. Oh, my slide has moved around a little bit. Here are some of the marketing slides. Let's see if I can put it back in order. So you can print, order, and utilize marketing supplies from World Headquarters, or TI is like I like to say. And the ones that you can print is the one on the bottom, what members are saying all about Toastmasters. The next one in your next open house is Find Your Voice. So you're thinking, what do I say to all of these prospects that I went to the gym, went to the local library, went to my Chamber of Commerce meeting, and I found all of these people. What do I say? Find Your Voice is a pre-populated PowerPoint slide that you just do at the open house event. All right, so you can print and use those. The slide with the woman on it, Build a Better You, and feel confident about online meetings. And that microphone one, relax, speak confidently, is also created by TI and is approved marketing tools right on Canva. So remember that slide. All you had to do is point, click, and enter your information. Right? All of these tools already ready for you, already beautiful, already provided by TI. All right, here's some additional resources that are my favorites. I am pointing to my favorites. Go ahead and check them out. They're on TI's site. Let the world know, the PR Corner, marketing resources, and of course, all about Toastmasters. My last additional resource is D44. We have your back. I like to say in my PR Corner, if you want to know about public relations and marketing, I got you. All right, you can check us out on D44 online PR resources. That is on D44Toastmasters.org, right in my little corner. Also, I do a class. We just did a Canva one-on-one this Monday for those who just didn't know where to start with Canva. And I showed them exactly how easy it is to do it. And then the next thing, of course, you can always follow us on social media, on YouTube. Club events like this, or not club, district events like this will be available in replay. And on Facebook, we always drop useful information there. All right, what's next? What's next? All hands must be on deck. It is not just to the officers. It is not just to the president. It's not just for the VPPR to do all of this work. I think every single person should in the club that is committed should be all hands on deck. Implement your ideas immediately. And then, of course, Pat said it best, host those quality meetings once you get those new tails in the seats. And then just remember why you joined Toastmasters and have fun and grow together. Just show them the last slide for me, Rod. PRM@D44Toastmasters.org. All of my slides will be available to you if you want them, and then you can walk through them on your own time. But I am here as a resource for anything that you may need, PR and marketing related. Back to you, Pat.
Whoa, thank you, Yolanda. That was like water from a fire hose. And if any of you are thrown back in your chair and your hair is blown back and you're going, oh my goodness, where do I start? Start by following up. Talk to Barb about a club coach. Talk to Rod about moments of truth and doing a SWOT analysis. Talk to Yolanda about your marketing and your specific marketing, branding your club, discovering what your unique selling proposition is, because you'll naturally attract people that are like other people in your club if you market correctly. So this may be a whole bunch of stuff tonight that you already know and you haven't acted on. Time to pick one thing on the list and get busy. Or you might sit here and go, I never heard a thing that is new to me. And I invite you to join with all the district team to support the people that are working towards acquiring this knowledge and applying it. And if all of it's new and you feel overwhelmed, take one small step. Call Yolanda and get an idea for your club. Let her help you with this. She's the expert. We don't have to know it all. One thing I know in Toastmasters is that when we take on roles, we take them on to learn how to do them. We don't take them on because we already know how to do it. So we get lots of practice at feeling less than. And that's a good place to be as a learner in Toastmasters. So phone Rod, phone Yolanda, phone Barb, phone your district team. They'll probably all take your call and gladly support you to build those clubs. And start thinking about changing the culture in your club if you're not President's Distinguished. I'm going to challenge you. If you are really comfortable in your club, I'm going to invite you to visit a really scary club. I'm going to invite you to look up on the internet and ask around and find out what's the very best club in your district. And I want you to visit it. And then I want you to shift your paradigm to, that's how good our club can be. We can create this. All we need to do is ask for assistance and apply what we've had shared with us today. So I'm going to ask Yolanda and Rod and Barb to put their contact information in the chat again so that everybody has access to that. And while they're doing that, I've got a question for all of you tonight. I'm going to challenge you to put your name in chat. Well, your name will show up in chat. Put your club name in chat and write one thing, one little thing. Doesn't have to be huge. One little thing that you're willing to do differently in your club over the next 3 months to move it forward. So put your club name in chat and write one thing that you personally are willing to do differently in your club over the next 3 months to move it forward. Because I know your district team would love to hear what you're willing to do. And other people will learn from it as well. So let's have a look at chat and see what people are doing. Oh, got some messages coming in. Okay, we've got Nina and said, go and make relationships with the local entities about Toastmasters. Okay. Improve the local chamber. Okay. I would get more specific. If I was with you, Suzanne, I'd be saying, how are you going to improve it? That feels pretty slippery because I'd have a hard time holding you to that. So get really clear on what you're going to do. So you know when it's done, that you can check it off and it's measurable. Epic orators, check in with the local chamber. Okay, good. Stately speakers, we're willing to begin marketing for the club for the first time ever. Okay, congratulations. Wow. Karen, 10 stars for professional. Oh, this is a comment on this thing, this program tonight. So thank you for your comments, Karen. District will be happy with those. Lingo masters, try to recruit at local businesses. Well, they say there is no try. You do or do not. So just go and do it. Okay, action. Artists, Toastmasters currently planning an open house. We'll do moments of truth. Fantastic. Good luck. And you know what? If you've done open houses before and they don't work, don't do them again. Do something different. If you've done them before and they work, do them again. Do what works for your club and your people. Create public relations, Paces West, fantastic. So, and reach out to Yolanda. Going, Polk Street speakers, excuse me, I've got a frog. You're going to ask members why they joined Toastmasters and follow up. Okay, it's great to check in so that you know if you're providing them with what they came for. Try the moments of truth. Well, if you do it, you'll get something out of it, I can guarantee. I want to use the opener. I see something in you. So powerful to start a conversation. Okay, Jasmine. Good, good. Open house, April 27th. Okay, for Carroll County. Orange orators, schedule speakers. Yes, you know, the Toastmasters promise and the Toastmasters application form that we sign actually indicates that for it to be a legitimate Toastmasters meeting, of which we must have a minimum of 12 a year, you must have formal presentations like project speeches and oral evaluations for it to be a meeting. That's a requirement. If you're just having table topics, it's not called a Toastmaster meeting. So check out those requirements, see if your club's in good status for that. A Rising Phoenix suggests moments of truth. Okay, and maybe lead that, Roy. I think you're capable of leading that and convincing them to do that. Open house SWOT analysis, create social media, getting a marketing plan. Melissa, I love you. Katie, speaking solutions, making time for moments of truth, including a SWOT analysis. Fantastic. And on and on. I'm not going to read them all, but I know your district's going to capture these and will be following up with you. So I want to acknowledge our presenters tonight for the time that they've spent in preparing to come and just tantalize your mind and your imagination of how you can do it differently, how you can go from being mediocre to a step up, and then another step, and then another step until your president's distinguished. Invite guests so that they'll join the Toastmasters program. Make sure you've got a fertile environment for them to learn, so when they arrive, they stick and they want to stay there. Remember, what kept you here is what's going to keep them there. Make it rich and learning. Follow the program and listen to them. Give them what they come for. They don't come for a spouse. They don't come for coffee, and they don't come for a place to hang out at 7 o'clock in the morning. They come because they want skills. And that's what we sell. And that's what we're responsible to deliver in our clubs. I want to acknowledge each one of you for your time, your commitment, your dedication, both to your own personal growth, but to the growth and continued success of your district. I also want to acknowledge your district team, Yolanda, Barb, and Rod, for the effort that they've put in, and Kari, to thank you, Madam District Director, for your leadership this year in the district. So let's join me in thanking our presenters today and our district team. You can unmute and join me in applause if you would like. Recognition is important, and acknowledgement, and thank you so much. And I'll return to this program to our Madam District Director.
Wow, I feel inspired as well. Thank you so much, Pat. And of course, our district team, that was fantastic. I'm so glad we recorded this, and we'll share it on our district website. I do want to give Rod a moment to talk about Q&A, and I'm going to turn it back over to our Mr. PQD.
Yes, we are just a few minutes over, and I totally understand. It's 8 o'clock. You're probably hungry. If you're like me, your Uber Eats order is sitting out on the porch, and so you may want to go and eat. But I did want to give us a moment, take a few moments to for you all to ask any questions. You can drop them in the chat. We may not get to all of them, but I guarantee you, if you put it in the chat, we will definitely follow up with you to respond to that. But I do at least want to take a moment or two for you all to ask a few questions. Oh, no questions. I mean, we did a great job, folks. No questions. You got the district here. You got a lot of folks here that can assist you. So if you don't feel comfortable taking yourself off mute, again, you can drop it in the chat and we'll respond.
I took good notes.
All right, Mike, thank you. If you need some notes, check with Mike.
I'm gonna be contacting some of y'all about the notes I took.
Okay. Awesome. Well, you know how to reach us, everyone. We put our email address in the chat. We are here for you. Thank you for your dedication. We're rounding the bend where I guess this will be considered like the 7th inning stretch if you like baseball. We're nearing the end, and so stay strong, don't give up, and we can absolutely achieve if we work together. So thank you for your time, and I will see you all at the next one. Oh wait, don't forget the conference. The conference is coming up. How can I forget about the conference? Don't forget about the conference, D44conference.org. Our conference is coming up May 5th and 6th of this year. So it is going to be an awesome time. We're celebrating our district's 10th anniversary. So if you have been in the district that long, you should be there because we will be celebrating you. It's going to be a good time, folks. So if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, go to d44conference.org. With that being said, Kari, I'll turn it back over to you to close us out.
Thank you, Rod, and just want to make sure that I emphasize that the district team is here to support you. We know that you are out there working hard to support your club members, and we are here to support you. If someone could put in the d44toastmasters.org website, you can find our email addresses there as well. Thank you again, Pat, so much for sharing your words of wisdom. And again, like I said, I'm inspired by all that was shared today. And so I will close us out. And if you have questions, please feel free to reach out to us. We're here to support you. Have a good evening.
Thank you.